Hello everybody, it's me, your boy. Welcome to this special hot and spicy Chris the Absolute DM live stream here today. We've got some big, stinky, chunky things to talk about today. It's great to see y'all here in the absolute tabletop landscape that is Chris the Absolute DM. Content on this particular side channel of mine is a bit rare these days, but I'm here today to talk about the big, fat, nasty elephant in the room that we all know. We all know why we're here. But before we get into it, I would just like to say hello, hi, welcome. Good to have y'all here today. If you're viewing this in the future, I will hopefully have chapters down below to kind of segregate the points that we're talking about a little bit today. It's gonna be a long rant discussion type thing. I hope y'all know what we're talking about, because I'm not gonna explain it in depth. But stick around for after the big nasty snasty topics, because I have a special announcement that is semi-related to all this drama. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's on the docket for today. I have a stream tomorrow on my main gaming channel, Chris the Absolute Legend, tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that Eastern time, playing more Fallout New Vegas, so be there for that if you want to see me play some video games. But today it's traditional gaming time. It's good to have y'all here. Norbliss, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Chris the Absolute Gamer. I'm crowdsourcing ideas for my new channel name. By the way, check it out. This is my ghetto ass chat on stream thing, because y'all know that the chat box in Streamlabs has been giving me trouble. So that's where you all are right now. Look, see, right over here. As you look, say hi, everybody. Now behave yourselves. You're on TV. That's right, Bitbot. You best be on your best behavior today, guys. Please keep it civil. Please keep it chill. This is a drama topic, all right? We're talking about big nasty drama here. We're all a little heated about some of the news here. We know this. But you know, I'm a guy who doesn't like to invite negative emotions into my space. So the purpose of the day is to just kind of touch base on all this crap that's going on. I feel like I owe it to you guys as a D&D personality, content creator, you know, type of dude, to like kind of put my thoughts out there into the nebula, and you know, whatever. Cause a lot of my opinions on this matter are the same as yours. Big stinky. Yeah, Ty Boy's right. We don't like downer shit around here. Don't bring the downer shit into chat, guys. But it is an interesting thing to talk about. I've had a lot of reflections over this whole situation, and there's a lot of there's a lot to touch on, and it's a very sort of nuanced kind of thing once you unpack the whole situation we've got on our hands. But Medical Memes here, hey, you're just in time. You're not late, my friend. No worries. No worries at all. We were just about to get into it. Five Cats, I hope that you get over your poopus soon. The stream's doing all right. Everyone in chat, let me know if things get stinky dinky for you on your end. I think it's gonna be fine though right now at least. And let me know if I sound and look good. Always. Never not looking good, your boy. Nothing ends. What's up? How you doing? Glad you're here. The news has been everywhere. It's not big new thing. There's not much reason for me to talk about this. Y'all know what's going on. But I feel like it's something we gotta get it out of our system. We gotta talk about the big stinky elephant in the room, and then we can move toward the future. You know, we can pack up this trauma and move on. I do have a special announcement, like I said, after we talk about this stuff. Please stick around. I have a special announcement on the topic of all of this. So once we address this shit and pack it up, then we can move on to brighter and better things for me and for you. You know what I'm saying? So big poopsis on CPR's end as well. And Five Cats is I'm sorry, guys. Anyone else experiencing lag? It seems like it might just be you two, but try to refresh the stream, try to stay back behind, and watch the VOD if nothing else, if all else fails. Sorry about that, guys. I wish I could fix the problems for you, but on my end, there's not much I can do. It's looking good. But anyway, no lag on your end, that's good. All right, I'm glad. Yeah, click live chat. That's right. Make sure you click live chat, everyone. Not top chat, live chat, because YouTube likes to censor naughty words. Alex says, I've been trying to get buds of mine to move to other systems out of spite over the dumb business decisions of Wizards of the Coast. Well, then you should definitely stick around for the big announcement. Soft announcement. It's not a big, grand announcement. I've got a soft announcement to give you guys. Just little inklings of stuff that I'm up to. But let's move on to the big chunky monkey in the room, guys. I'm gonna put you back on screen. There you are. I have a whole 6 pages of Google Doc that I wrote up as like outline notes because I have a lot of thoughts that I just want to spew out. There's gonna be a lot of ranting at you guys right now, so you know, chat with amongst each other, with me, you know, and let's just have a nice little you know, chit chat about what's going on. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys all enjoy. Stick around for the announcement. And again, tomorrow, gaming channel, Chris the Absolute Legend, playing some Fallout New Vegas. If you like Fallout, come watch me play tomorrow sometime, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern, something like that. Anyway, link in the description of my gaming channel. Go over there. So, first and foremost, before we get into it, I am relatively uninformed on a lot of the finer points of this discussion, so I might misstate some facts about the whole situation. And as I understand it, a lot of what we're covering today comes from leaks and statements from unofficial sources or people in the loop, but they're not, you know, it's not their liberty to say definitively what's going on. And on top of that, pretty much the entire situation is subject to change. Wizards of the Coast might hold a press conference tomorrow and undo all of it. You know, this might change drastically, you know, a week from now. You know, we don't know. So always stay tuned for changes. That being said, a lot of the damage has been done, and a lot of what's been said about what's going on is pretty well substantiated. So while they are like leaks and rumors, they've got some meat on their bones, you know. So take everything you're about to hear and about everything we're about to talk about with a pretty big grain of salt. You know, stay tuned, because the situation will most certainly change moving forward. They allegedly stinked up. Yeah, sorry. Wizards of the Coast allegedly shat the bed. I'm sorry, 5cast, that Poopus is affecting you too much, but I'll see you later, buddy. Yeah, exactly, Alex. It won't change the main damage, exactly. And we'll touch on that for sure, because a lot of the damage is an attitude thing, more so than the actual meat and potatoes of what's happening. Dang it, Stout. Chat keeps Stout up to date with the cliff, you know. Don't break your backs over. But Stout, come back and watch the VOD. I'm glad you're here and chat with us, though. So, I'm not going to explain the entire situation in detail, since most of you who are watching probably already know what's going on. If you don't know about the drama, I will try to summarize as I go, but this discussion is mostly intended for people who are already up to speed on the whole thing. So, if you don't know what's going on, sorry, you might be a little bit in the dark, but I'll try to explain as we go. I could have made this into a video, but I tend to operate best when I'm face-to-face with a live audience, so that's how I'm gonna handle this. It's the best way that I can do things. I've got this outline here that I'll be referring to, so you'll see me staring at the screen a lot, just to make sure I cover everything and don't miss anything that I've thought about, but I will try to take breaks to address chat when I see fit. Be sure to stick around, again, for the announcement afterward. It's on the topic, and it's very relevant. And finally, I apologize in advance if ADHD takes over and I bounce around topics and, you know, repeat myself and all that crap. Even though I made notes, I might not be able to stay on track, so you might get a lot of repetition. You might have me going all over the place, but just try to bear with me as much as you can, and we'll get through it together. Does that sound good, guys? All right. Good. Why do you bend your fingers backwards like that? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm cracking my knuckles like this. Sorry. Does that make you uncomfortable? My bad. Misery, here for the clown fiesta. That's right. Thanks for being here. Yes, we're about to get into this stinky dinky. The clown? Nah. We're talking about the whole damn circus today. So, I will preface by saying that I'm not the kind of person who gets particularly passionate about issues like this. That's just not me. I'm a very laid back, go with the flow kind of guy, and I definitely don't make a habit of inciting the masses or trying to inspire revolution. Oh, you know what? On that note, hashtag open D&D. I forgot to make that the hashtag. On that note, that's what the hashtag is, right? Open D&D. I gotta put the hashtag in there. All right, there we go. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't like to get on board with big dramatic shit like that. I say as I put the hashtag in. No, but I'm not a huge boycotty kind of person, you know. I don't throw down in Twitter. I don't storm the gates of big corporations, and I'm just like non-confrontational and in general. I don't like jumping into drama, even if it's for a great cause, you know, even if it's the right thing to do. I'm not knocking on anyone who does, you know, is active about things like this. You know, I don't like stirring the pot, but this particular subject is different because it hits close to home. I know I don't have a crazy amount of D&D content here on the channel. It's more of like a side journal for my campaign right now than a dedicated, you know, D&D channel. But there are things that I would like to do on this channel, or that I would have liked to do on this channel, and this drama and decisions by WotC and Hasbro affect those potential future things that I might have done. So, you know, it's time to throw down. To make a super long and, you know, nuanced rant short, here's the bullet point. Wizards of the Coast, aka WotC and Hasbro, are being big stinky doo-doo heads. They are turning themselves into the enemy of the D&D community in many ways with their recent words and actions. Roll credits, you can move on. But I'm going to dive into it because I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and there's a lot to like kind of unpack about it. So I don't know. I just like to talk at the void. So if you would hear me out, then you know, enjoy the ride. It's easy to look at the situation, I find, and just write it off as like Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast bad, big, shitty, evil, greedy corporations. Blah, down with them. I hate them. You know, but you know, it's easy to do that without putting any more thought into it than that. And don't get me wrong, what they're doing is fucked up, and I do not like it. But you know, I'm not gonna defend, you know, anything that. And I'm sure you all hate them. Yeah, exactly, Misery. We all hate them. But I feel like it's a bit reductive to just get emotional and angry and be like hate. Because it is a really wacky, interesting situation. How it all sort of, you know, how it began in the before times. So it's really important to look into like how it happened. I find medical meme. Are we the void? Yes, you are today. You are the brain cells in my mind that I talk to at night. You know what I'm saying? WotC, Breaking Bad. Exactly. Yeah, Alex. Exactly. The main aspect is the disservice to the community. Yeah, and I'll touch on that for sure. There's the mechanical workings of what's bad, and then there's like the attitude and the like antagonization from these, you know, from these companies. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? It's true, Misery. There's a lot of other great systems that might have a better chance this time, because D&D has kind of monopolized the tabletop role-playing genre. But stay tuned for a big announcement. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, so let me just say this. There are two things that I think a company should be allowed to do. One, protect its property, and two, seek out profits and try to maximize profits. Hot take, I know, but I take, you know, intellectual property rights a little bit seriously. You know, we all shit on copyright laws and the flawed YouTube content ID system, or what have you. You know, we all whine about copyrights and stuff. You know, this is nothing new, because it's irritating to us, the consumers, right, and creators, of course. But like it or not, Wizards of the Coast, you know, does own the rights to their games and the rules of those games, and they should be allowed to protect those rights to a degree. I am a believer in a person or group of people creating something and then being allowed to do whatever they want with that thing, within reason, within ethical and moral reasons, including protecting it from other people profiting off of it, right? And I believe that if you create something, you're allowed to get the most out of it financially if you play your cards right. If I, a small creator, spend the next 10 years blowing up and being the next big thing because I created a new game or a system, you know, I have the right to do my best to make it profitable for myself and my family and the people that helped me get there along the way, right? I do think that. Again, if done ethically and not big stinky doo-doo. Typo says, I have no idea what happened, so I'm going to assume they enslaved 20 million sea snails. That's actually exactly what you did. You thought we were talking about copyright shit and the OGL. No, it's the sea snails. Justice for snails. Hashtag open sea snails. No, but in an isolated case, you know, in a standalone isolated situation, not taking into account all of the shit that WotC and Hasbro is pulling right now, I believe those two sort of tenets for the most part, protecting property and making money from your ideas. Obviously, you start getting into mega corporations and the bad side of late stage capitalism, and blah, blah, blah. Once you go down that rabbit hole, that's its own bag of worms, right? But yeah, you know, that's what I think. Now Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast created this kind of situation for themselves in a really interesting way with the OGL or Open Game License. A lot of you who've been keeping up know what this means, but for those who don't know what it means, basically the OGL, that's what it's called, right? OGL? I'm not tripping now. I'm doubting. Yeah, Open Game License. Yeah. Right. Basically, it was Wizards of the Coast's way of saying that anyone can use the D&D base rules to make third-party content. This means you can make custom races, classes, original settings, characters, magic items, artwork, adventures, podcasts and videos, series, whatever. They said, here's the 5th edition rules. Well, this was back in, you know, before, but here's the D&D rules. You guys can take these rules and build your own stuff with it, right? That's what the OGL was. The 1.0 version of OGL. D&D 3rd edition and 3.5, from my perspective, now I was born in the mid-90s, so, you know, I was too young to really be on board the bandwagon in some ways, but D&D 3rd edition and 3.5 were not super popular in the mainstream as far as I could tell. I never even heard about 3rd edition or 3.5 or Pathfinder until D&D entered its 4th edition, and I heard about it and started getting on board in like 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. That's where I got into D&D. And 4th edition, as far as I can tell, was really responsible for bringing new eyes to the game for a lot of people. Now everyone knew what Dungeons and Dragons was, because the jokes have been around since the 70s and 80s. The hardcore nerds play Dungeons and Dragons, you know, but no one knew anything about it, you know. 4th edition and then into 5th edition is where it really started blowing up. The Open Game License really, in a lot of ways, is responsible for the renaissance of Dungeons and Dragons, and I use that term very intentionally. D&D is in the golden, well, it might be over now, but in the 20-teens, it was in the golden age of D&D. You know what I'm saying? The renaissance, like everyone's learning about it. Mainstream media is picking it up, like Stranger Things, you know, Critical Role blew up as a stream. D&D got fucking big, yo. Never before had so many eyes been on the actual game itself and like how to play it and stuff. You know, again, everyone had heard of Dungeons and Dragons before, but now people were actually like looking at it like, oh, what is this? I can actually play this. Oh, it's actually fun and cool and sick. Right on, you know. This is in no small part due to the OGL, the Open Game License. You know what I'm saying? Misery says the first time I played D&D was back in 2014 with 3.5 edition. Really, that's interesting because by 2014, was when was 5th edition released? I can't remember. Release date. When did 5th edition? It was 2014 actually. So you started playing 3.5 while 4 existed, right before 5th came out. That's interesting. And Alex has first played 2nd edition. Ooh, hey, yo, bro. We talking AD&D, my boy? Is that what we're talking about here? Oh, ooh. Yes, that's right. Eyeball. Okay. Anyway. we talking AD&D, yes sir. Yeah. No, Misery, Level has money. No, I don't have money, actually. I've had these for a long time. My dad had some money. He showed me D&D when I was like 10 years old with those books. Crazy shit. Crazy. And Pathfinder too. I did play some Pathfinder during my 4th edition days. Anyway, so back on topic. We're talking OGL right here. It created the golden age of D&D, the renaissance of D&D, you know? Critical Role. Y'all heard of Critical Role. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. I prefer Acquisitions Incorporated, which is another big sort of adventure podcast thing they do at real shows. I'm behind on it too. I need to catch up with some of the more recent sessions, I think. Yeah, he had money, is right. The multitude of creators that you guys know today, they all exist because of the OGL, this open game license. You guys can take D&D rules and do your stuff. Dimension 20, yep, Dimension 20, of course, as well. WotC, Wizards of the Coast, aka WotC. I'm gonna call it WotC from now on. And also Hasbro is like linked. If I say WotC, I mean Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, because they're both kind of in the shit together, you know what I'm saying? They have been thrust into fame by the decision to make its rules open source. The sheer accessibility of D&D has been astounding. You can literally, right now, not for long, but you can literally just look up the rules and play right now, whenever you want, right? But D&D has put WotC and Hasbro into a not-so-great financial situation, from what I understand. These numbers may not be entirely accurate, but they're what I heard. It sounds like D&D, as an entity, has pulled in about $1.3 billion in revenue. But Hasbro and WotC has only seen between, I've heard, 100 to 150 million of that cash, a mere fraction of the total money that's being, it's on the table here. Most of that's going to these third-party entities, not to not to Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, right? And a lot of you to that are probably going like, oh, boo-hoo, poor multi-million-dollar corporation, wah. And true, yes, like, you have every right to, of course. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they deserve all the money they're entitled to. After all, they created it. It's their right to take it back. You wouldn't be here without them. I'm not gonna say that. Like, no, this is what they signed up for. They made the choice to like make it open source and be like, all right, you, the community, you take that and you roll with it. And it got big. It got real big, Hold on, let me pause and catch up in chat here. Never seen Critical Role, believe it or not. It's pretty cool. Check it out if you want, but I'm not super big into it. Much more invested in the community, and they did make it OGL. Yeah, I don't know the origins of the OGL, so that's one of the things that I'm a little bit uninformed on. But as I understand it, the OGL was a decision, WotC decided to partake in OGL. They were okay with it. They could have buckled down and said, no, our game, closed source. But it became open source OGL. Right? And put yourself into their shoes for a second, right? Try your hardest. Try your best. I know it's tough. I know you don't like it. I know it's uncomfortable. But put yourself into their shoes for just a second. There's this huge opportunity for profit in this market that you created. Or at least you were majorly instrumental in creating this market. And you know that there are more ways to earn money and create more products with that money. Like the D&D movie, for example. D&D video games. One D&D, the next sort of edition of D&D. And so on and so forth. Like, we like receiving products from the official source. Maybe not anymore. But, you know, in an ideal world, right, in a perfect situation, right, we want this company who's making a thing to be good, right? We want WotC and Hasbro to succeed to a degree. So I don't at all blame them for wanting to find ways to increase profits. I don't think any of us should blame them for exploring methods of getting a slice of that pie, right? The pie that they helped bake. You know, they gave us the ingredients for the pie, and they gave us the oven, and they said, make a pie. And then we made a big-ass pie, and they said, can we have a little bit more of that pie? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just how the world works. And I think that they're within their rights to want to get a bit more of that pie, you know what I'm saying? And obviously there's greed to it. There's an obvious greediness factor, and that's bad. There's obviously money-grubbing, you know, big wigs and fat cats up at the top who just want to make a buck. But, from what I've gathered, from what I've heard, there have been multiple projects canceled by WotC and Hasbro. Projects that we might have enjoyed, but they had to cancel because they don't have the money for it. Supposedly, allegedly. Projects that we might have enjoyed that had to get canceled because their revenue is tanking. The number I heard was that they're down 40% either last year or the year before, or, you know, this last year, you know. The beast, this monster that is the creative community, is getting out of hand and pulling too many profits away from WotC and Hasbro. They would like you to believe, right? So I do genuinely think that they're well within their rights, and it's their prerogative to try to pull back that market a little bit, you know, rein it in, say, okay, hold on, you know, how can we both win here, right? Keep their machine rolling. You know what I'm saying? I think that's, maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm alone in this. I think it's not wrong for WotC to say, hey, how can we make a little bit more of this money that's out there? Because there's a lot, you know? You know what I'm saying? Corporate greed. Yeah, of course. Yes, Alex. Keeping the company up is great. It allows the community to thrive. Great thing. But they're trying to take the whole pie. See? Exactly. For sure. They're asking for that pie is basically saying, hey, could you give us a piece of that pie? We swear we won't take the entire pie. Don't resist, or else we'll take the oven, the ingredients, and your kneecaps away. Exactly. So, you guys are saying some spicy stuff in chat, right? Have I lost anyone yet? If you're watching in the future, have you clicked off yet? Have I pissed you off? Hopefully, maybe not. We'll see. Y'all still with me? Okay, so Devil's Advocate segment of this rant is now over. Look at that. I'll take a deep breath. All right, the Devil's Advocate session is complete. The way to protect intellectual property and to maximize profits. The way to do that ethically is not to shit all over the community that made D&D what it is and to do a complete 180 on their attitude toward creators. In the past, WotC has acted very goody-goody, wholesome chungus toward its community, right? A lot of feel-goody words like, we're all creators, this wonderful world of D&D and tabletop RPGs, blah, 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 you know. I've heard that a lot from, like, the D&D spokespeople. This wonderful game we all enjoy. Magical experiences that creators create, blah, 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 blah. And then they're turning around and shitting on it and stamping it into the mud. You know what I'm saying? They went too far, too hard. Exactly, Alex. That's right. Yup. Nothing ends. I do believe it makes sense for them to do things to get more money. However, shooting the creators in the back will only hurt them long term. Yes, absolutely. So, let's talk about that. Here's a quote from, I don't know who this is from. Full disclosure that I'm less educated than most, but someone representing WotC or Hasbro somewhere said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, the OGL, that is the Open Gaming License, the open source nature of the game, the OGL wasn't intended to subsidize major competitors. And it wasn't intended to allow people to make D&D apps, videos, or anything other than printed or printable materials for use while gaming. Major competitors. That's me, that's us. That's the creators. Major competitors. Not consumers, not the community, competitors. adversaries, right? Wizards of the Coast is viewing content creators, me, you, and not me, because I don't. How many views? I get less than 100 views on my streams. Like I don't create that much, you know. So like, not me, but like people like me, Critical Role, Dimension 20, creators. They're the enemy. That's what that means. Major competitors. And that makes their stance pretty clear. That makes the attitude pretty clear. Right? You know, those words speak loudly. So some of the points of this new OGL, again, to educate some people, what are they actually doing? What are all this talk? What the fuck is WotC and Hasbro actually doing? If you don't know, they're releasing OGL 1.1. I love that 0.1. Like, it's just a little bit different than the original, right? Which went from 900 words from OGL 1 to 9,000 in OGL 1.1. They're adding that much new crap to this license. And there's a whole lot of stuff that stabs creators in the backs and makes it really hard for creators to succeed. Now, I'll get into some of these finer points of this in a second here. Again, to kind of tackle one by one. Alex says, they tried to shoot Critical Role in the front from my point of view, even though Critical Role has worked with them to create books in certain aspects like an entire class. Yeah, Matt Mercer has made at least one class officially, and probably a few more in like, you know, whatever, in less official sort of terms. Oh yeah, no, for sure though. So one thing that this new OGL says you have to do is report all of your income, I think over $50,000, to WotC. You have to get an official badge, like a creator's badge on your content, and agree to the new OGL. Now, some of these are not that bad in an isolated case. A lot of this, again, a lot of these things, they don't piss me off if they were in an isolated case, but when you lump it all together with the attitude, then it gets worse, right? Having to get an official creator badge, say like, oh, this has been recognized and is good to go with Wizards of the Coast. Like, that's fine. You know, in the future, if you had to pay royalties for that badge, you know, depending on how that's implemented, that might not be a horrible way to go in and of itself, right? And part of the OGL here, this is the big one, right? This is the biggest elephant in this room, is if you make over $750,000 in revenue per year, I guess, right, annually, or maybe just all together. Actually, I can't remember. Is it all together, or is it 750,000 in 1 year? That's actually big. If you make that amount of money, if you pass that threshold, you have to pay WotC 25% of your royalties. Now, again, maybe a hot take. You believe it was annually, Misery? Okay. I'm not sure. Can we get more opinions on that? I need to check that out. But either way, it's bad. But, you know, again, on its own, in a vacuum, this is not an outrageous thing to me. $750,000 is a lot of money. These are the big creators. This is Critical Role and like these big virtual tabletops and stuff. If moving forward, keywords moving forward, because that's not how this works, it's retroactive, but let's just say if moving forward with the next editions of D&D, there was a royalty fee for these big creators in the space, I wouldn't be horribly against that on its own. I wouldn't like it, I wouldn't be a fan of it, but it would make some amount of sense to me, right? 25% is pretty ridiculous. I would shoot for maybe like 5 or 10, but you get what I'm saying, right? Crata Hates here. Hopefully, I'm not too late. A little bit late, but we're talking about the nitty gritty now. Basically, WotC, aka Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, making big stinky moves in D&D. So yeah, like if this alone, the $750,000 you owe us 25% of royalties, if that were it, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. You know, Critical Role is big. They owe a lot. You could argue they owe a lot to WotC. Okay, that makes sense. You know, right? Welcome back, Stout. We're talking about the nitty gritty. You know what it is. After living my entire life in Argentina, 25% off a paycheck is a slight breeze compared to, compared to some shit. 60% salary reductions. Oh, yeah. Even 15%, says Alex, would have been more reasonable. Yeah. Oh, create a hate. Don't you worry. We're getting to it. Again, all of these things I'm saying, are in a vacuum, right? So if you have to get an official badge from Wizards of the Coast saying we recognize this content is good, that's not that bad. This royalty thing on its own wouldn't be that bad if that were it. But here's the real shitter. Create a Hate called it. Some of the real big shitters. The first big one, under this agreement, aside from royalties, aside from the whole royalty thing, Wizards of the Coast gets the right to use any of your content for any reason they want. So aside from the shitty royalties, they want to just take your shit and sell it on their own. Oh, hey, that's a cool little adventure you wrote there, Chris the Absolute DM. You have to pay us. And also, we're just going to sell it ourselves. We making the switch to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, gang? Hey, maybe. But stay tuned for the big announcement at the end of the ship. I keep teasing like it's going to be some big thing. It's a soft announcement, but it might be kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, they just get to sell your shit. That's cool. That's awesome. I love that. Also, Create a Hate called it out. Wizards of the Coast can modify or terminate this agreement in any way, shape, or form for any reason whatsoever, provided they give you a 30 days notice. So that means everything I just said, all that shit I just said, can change for the worse at any time. So Wizards of the Coast can bring that $750,000 threshold down to $500. Hey, look, that most critical as a D&D party video that I made that got all big and shit, right? That made me, I don't know if I'm at liberty to say the exact number, but that made me a few $100s because that's what got me into the monetization program, the partner program, right? Guess what? They can just say, oh, that was a cool video, dude. Give us half of that. I would hope that they wouldn't stoop that low, but they could do that, All they need to do is give you a 30-day notice. They can bump that percent up from 25% to 50% to 90%. They can take all of it if you want. It's crazy. Also, Stout, yes, it is backwards compatible. Even if it's 5e, even if it's 4th edition. Now, here's a point. Can someone answer this question for me? By backwards compatible, we're talking about editions, but is it also backwards compatible with content that already exists? So like, let's say 2 years ago I published a campaign. Do I still owe that money to Wizards of the Coast? Or does the revenue that I make starting with the introduction of OGL 1.1, does it then start tracking up to that $750,000? Stout says yes. So even if I made content a couple years ago, they can still crack down on me. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say for sure. Like I said, I keep wanting to say I'm relatively misinformed on a lot of this stuff. Yes. Well, ain't that great? Don't we love that? Woohoo! Misery, massively hot take. 30 days notice is extremely generous compared to what it could be. That's hey, that's a spicy take, but it's also fair. But the thing is, Misery, they could probably even change that 30-day notice to a 1-day notice because it can all change. So, even the points where we can say, you know what? This part of the OGL is not that bad. The rest of it sucks, but this part here, I'm okay with this one part here. That part can just be shitty all of a sudden with 30-day notice, you know what I'm saying? Oh, did you say that? Oh, I'm sorry, Misery. Okay, cool, I missed what you said. Yeah, okay, yeah, you did, yeah, boom. Well, there you go. We're on the same wavelength here, buddy. Boom, bam, pow. So, there is no security. There's no legal security in this agreement for creators, leaving only their word, leaving only the word of WotC and Hasbro to assure us, right? And when it comes to legality, spoken word means nothing. We all know this. But even if it did mean something, what did they say? What did they say? Let's scroll back up in my notes here. What did they say? They said, quote, I don't know who I'm quoting, paraphrase quote, the OGL wasn't intended to subsidize major competitors, and it wasn't intended to allow people to make D&D apps, videos, or anything other than printed or printable materials for use while gaming, unquote. So they're even saying, they're calling us, the creators, major competitors. Now, obviously, Critical Role or Dimension 20, they're more of a major competitor than I am. But they made it quite clear who we are. We're competitors. You know what competitors means? Enemies, adversaries. We are competing. We don't succeed together. I'm going to succeed more than you at you know, right? That's what that means. So we have no legal security. We have no assurances from their word, since their stance and their attitude toward us creators has been made quite clear, right? Yep. I would say if you're talking about manufacturing and stuff, it's a lot more complicated than just flipping a switch. Like if you print your own books or make your own merch. Yeah. If you're talking about some of that retroactive stuff. Roblox takes 30% when you sell something on its site. On top of that, Robux isn't worth much, so it can be worse. WotC and Hasbro are the new Roblox now. Hey, listen. Roblox has been taking some big L's too, so maybe. Yeah, yeah, Stout. D&D would not be... See, I talked about this when you were in your session, Stout. Because you were playing your session. But I already talked about the fact that the community, the open source nature of D&D is what made it, first of all, fun. Second of all, it's what made it big. It's what made it explode. And Wizards of the Coast got themselves into a funky situation here by making it open, by allowing it to be open. They've created this beast now that I don't blame them for trying to tame the beast. I really, truly don't blame them for being like, all right, let's rein it in back to us a little bit here because this is our thing, you know? But when you go into all the nitty gritty shit here, obviously it's big L, big stinky, small PP energy. Like, yeah, you know, absolutely. I backed a game on Kickstarter, says Stout, that I'm really worried about now. Like, what happens to the project I already spent money on? Well, I got good news for you, Stout. They're not going to take 25% of that. They're only going to take 20%. Yeah. No, it sucks. So let's get to the big final bullet point here that I have. We talked about all this bullshit, but on top of all of that, OGL 1.1 is potentially illegal. The original open game license was supposed to last perpetually, from what I've gathered. It was written in such a way that WotC should not be able to go back on it. From what I gather, this is not black and white. From what I gather, this is a debatable topic. I don't think it's cut and dry. I don't think it's as simple as they cannot do it. I've heard that there are grounds to them being able to go through it. Maybe they have to reword some things. I don't know. It's a legal gray area from what I can tell. Some people claim that it's totally illegal and corrupt, and some people say, no, unfortunately, they can do it. And a very small amount of people probably say, fortunately, they can do it. Yay! Anyway. As much as we want it to be illegal and horrible, they might be able to get away with at least some of it, you know, partially. I'm not sure about this part. We all need to wait to see how that progresses. Kickstarter takes 50% already. Does it really? I didn't know that. Yeah, people are going, and on the topic of legality, I think someone already made a filed a cease and desist to WotC. Not a full lawsuit, I don't think, but like a you can't do that, you know, letter. I think. I don't know how that's going. If anyone knows what I'm talking about and can enlighten me as to the progress of that, let me know. I heard that people are already trying to, you know, fight back legally, because we can all fight back with the hashtags and the activism, but someone's already trying to go after them legally. But I don't. But the thing about that though is that WotC hasn't actually enacted this yet, so it's not like, you know, we can't do anything yet. You know, I suppose. Oh yeah, Mighty 9, I think, is that Stout, the Mega Man clone game that got fucked up. Nothing that says you can tame the beast. However, there's a difference between taming it and using a cattle prod. Absolutely, yes. This damages the community, I guess, their opposition, and their opposition. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we passed the devil's advocate portion of the video at the beginning, but I want to reiterate that I don't blame them at all for wanting to explore methods to tame the beast, to regain a little bit of their property and say, you know what, guys, moving forward, keyword moving forward with Open D&D, in the future, we're gonna keep it we're gonna hold our cards a little more close to our chest, you know? I don't blame them for wanting to explore ways of doing that and gaining revenue, because they're down revenue, you know? But like Nothing Ends says here, this total, and like Alex has said, and like we've all said, it damages the community horribly. And again, the chunky stuff aside, the legal stuff aside, there's also just the attitude portion of it, how they literally have said, well, the old OGL wasn't actually meant to subsidize major competitors. You know, so, competitors. Yeah. Yep. Keeping profits good to help keep the community up so the community thrives creates a loop of supply and demand. Very well said. That's a good capsulation of my thoughts. To a degree, we do need this company to kind of make money and then give us more stuff and keep that community going. Because like D&D Beyond, I'm not a fan of D&D Beyond, but like a lot of people, it works for them. Paying subscription to have access to the books and the rules and the character builder, you know, that works well for a lot of people, right? You know, there are ways of doing this well, which I'll get to in a second, actually. A little bit later on, in just a minute, I'm going to get into like ways they could have done this better that I think, you know? So let me get back to my notes here and finish up my pre-written outline. If Wizards of the Coast just released the OGL 1.1 as is and nothing else, it would be bad. But I would not feel as apprehensive and as attacked, you know? It's the combination of the OGL 1.1 bullshit and the apparent hostility toward creators combined that truly makes it a villainous thing. Because how are we supposed to look at this and feel any amount of confidence that they won't change the deal in their favor or just continue fucking us over? There's no legal assurance, like I said, there's no legal security that they're on our side, which leaves us with their word only, and their word is that we are competitors, we are the enemies. We've sucked funds out of their pockets, and they are leaving every avenue to them open to taking those profits back, and they don't seem intent on going back on their word or changing it. They've been silent. That's one of the other things too, is they've been silent. At the very least, you could have had a spokesperson weeks ago, days ago. How long has this? This has been like 2 weeks now that this has been kind of like circulating. You could have had a spokesperson come out a few days in and say, guys, we hear you. Stay tuned. We're gonna work on it, okay? They could have at least, the bare minimum, said, we're working on it. But nothing. Radio silence, which is very reassuring, of course. Yeah, the big news is gonna be once WotC comes out and defines what they consider as major competitors. Exactly, see, yeah. Because without definition, that means anything or anyone could be targeted. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, major competitors. It's like, well, you say major, but like, what's major? Where's that line? Who are you really going after? That $750,000 revenue, right? That's major. But that can go way down, you know? Stout, I can see why they made the changes so far-reaching, because people can just go back to playing older versions, and their problem would still be the same. Yeah, that's true. You know, you know, hey, listen, props to them for thinking about it, you know. If they just said moving forward, people would just be like, okay, not going forward with that then. And then they'd lose a lot of money. So that's true. I never thought about that. Very true. But the problem now, of course, yes, is that now no one's gonna play anything. So let's talk about me. Let's talk about your boy. How does this affect me? This is part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this, is because I wanted to touch base on you know, where I stand in all this and like my channel and all that crap, right? So we'll talk about that in just a second. Alex, radio silence can work in terms of companies and big corporations. However, with the community being so big and all-encompassing in what they do for the game, it does nothing but ramp up fear and tension. And you know what? Maybe they're relying on fear and tension. You know, this could be... We have no idea. This could be a massive marketing move. They could be saying... They could just zip it, let it build, let it build, let it build, and then a month from now be like, we're not actually doing it! Aren't we awesome? OGL stays! Woo! Yeah! Maybe that's their play. I don't know. Probably not, but who knows? But the damage is done, my boy. The damage is done. Exactly. They're, oh no, they're gaslighting. It's the Sonic movie conspiracy all over again. They're like, they made it shitty on purpose so that they would change it and get praised. You know what I'm saying? It's that all over again. Yep. So how does this affect me? Well, in what ways does this fuck ya boy over? Honestly, not many as a creator, because I don't publish or distribute any third-party D&D content in terms of books or you know, printing content. I don't make dice, nothing like that. And this channel is not monetized, and even if it was, I'm way too far off from that $750,000 mark to be affected by that at all. So and what I do produce on this channel is just some like campaign diaries and shit. It might affect the future of this channel, but we'll talk about that later. On top of that, yeah, like I said, all that I have on this channel right now is campaign diary and some discussions. I don't do live campaign gameplay yet. I don't have explicit like how to play D&D content. You know, the most I've ever done is kind of just talk philosophy and give advice during my streams, right? So while I probably do technically fall into the brackets of who can be charged for the royalties, it's not like much would be lost. I could just change gears and cover more general topics like my RPG campaign and general tabletop gaming content. More on that later. Nothing against, even if it turns out to be false, the fact that WotC didn't say anything from the start causes damage to the opposition. Yes, they won't get fixed overnight. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, like I said, the damage is done. Even if they go back on it, damage is way done. And that's what's keeping people like me, who are not getting personally afflicted, that's why it's gonna be, you know, hard to move on from this, because even if I'm not affected, and even if they do fix it, you made your stance clear, my guy. You know, how are you gonna expect me to like you? You know, after you went and pulled that shit, even if you went back on it, right? So in summary, the new OGL doesn't really affect me that much as a creator. I could just keep doing what I've been doing, or I would only need to start worrying once I make a lot more money or do Kickstarter for third-party shit, right? You know, so that's me. Now, obviously, you know, I'm not selfish about this. It just because it doesn't affect me heavily as a creator doesn't mean I'm not grumpy about the changes for other creators. A lot of people love Critical Role. Just out, there you go. Hey, Wavelength. At first they came for Critical Role, and I said nothing because I was not Matt Mercer. Wow. What is that? Can you tell me what that's a reference to? That quote sounds familiar. Yeah, it's just a prank, bro. The prank, exactly. A lot of people love Critical Role and other such entities. I myself am not a huge fan of Critical Role. I've said that before on the channel, and I said it earlier today. But I can understand why a lot of people would be hurt if a major D&D entertainment entity like Critical Role, like Dimension 20, like Acquisitions Incorporated, I would understand why people would be upset. There's a lot of people who are really, really majorly big into Critical Role, guys, and other such, you know, entities, like I said. Like, if Critical Role just has to stop, which is what it seems like it's probably gonna happen, like, that sucks. Sucks for the people involved. It sucks for Matt Mercer and the gang. You know, I'm a fan of Matt Colville. Any Matt Colville fans in chat? I haven't kept up with him a lot lately, but he's a DM and a creator who's done a lot of videos about the philosophy behind DMing and how to be a better DM, how to elevate your DMing game. A really cool guy. He taught me a lot of what I sort of take to the table as a DM, and he himself made a killing through Kickstarter and sales of his third-party content. He made some of his own third-party 5e compatible mechanics and systems to play it to bring to your table. He did stuff about hirelings and fortresses, like so systems about like how to build your own fortress and hire people in in your D&D campaign. This, if the retroactive enforcement is to be believed, is gonna hit him hard as fuck. All right, and I can easily imagine myself in a situation where I would be afraid of not being able to feed my family because my content is getting slashed by WotC, you know what I'm saying? But Chris, what will happen when you get a $1 billion donation? Yeah, listen, hey, you'll see me gone. I'm out of here. For Critical Role, that might be the only way they can get a D&D experience, because yeah, for a lot of people, these campaigns. See, one reason that's a great point. One reason why I am not a huge fan of Critical Role. Probably, I've never thought about it. Well, I've thought about it, but I've never thought of this aspect of it. Is probably because I can play D&D whenever I want. I've got groups, I got friends, I got you guys, I've got a show. I've got ways to play D&D and to do D&D content. I don't need a show to get my fill. But a lot of people don't have that. They don't have the friends who love to play D&D. They don't have the means of playing D&D. And they're about to have even less than no means. You know what I'm saying? Shit, dude. Yeah, Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. Yeah. Oh, for sure. What? That's a show. That's a TV show. And that brings, okay, so, and that brings me to another really interesting point here. And this is where I'm totally out of my league in terms of legality, but like, where is the line between Wizards of the Coast's property and the rules of D&D, between just, where's the line between that and just like fantasy, right? D&D doesn't own the concept of a wizard. D&D does not own the concept of a cleric. Do they own the spells? Magic. So if someone in the Critical Role show casts Magic Missile, is that a problem? Because they played D&D on the show and that's what it's based on? Does it? Where are the lines here? It's crazy when you think about just like, I don't know where the fuck, is it the rules? If your game has armor class, AC, and skill checks versus a difficulty class, DC, is that an infringement? Fuck if I know. Is Fireball copyrighted says medical? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. Aragorn in Lord of the Rings is a ranger. That's what they call him. He's a ranger. Strider. Well, he's not a D&D ranger. Not really. I guess kind of. But like, he doesn't cast Entanglement and Ensnaring Strike. Where does Ranger line all this? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So, copyright imagination. I like that. Lord of the Rings came first, so well, yeah. I mean, of course, you get that. And BG on the Discord brought up a great point, which is that there is some apparently officially recognized Tolkien content that uses D&D rules. So there's a real battle brewing there. What happens if Wizards of the Coast says, we're coming after you, Tolkien estate? So. Yeah, that's its own thing too. So I don't know. It's all wacky zacky. Now then, next. So how does that affect me as a creator? Not much, but I feel it and I'm mad. How does this affect me and you as players? How does this affect us as just enjoyers of the game? We're not creators. Well, I kind of am, but like you may not be a creator. How does this affect you and I as players of the game that we have enjoyed so much? I believe that online tabletop applications like Roll20 and Foundry are going bye-bye. I don't think they get to survive, or if they do, no, you know what? They'll probably stay up, but they have to take down all of their D&D sheets and functions. It has to be just the tabletop grid and dice. So it's up to you to make the rolls. That's probably what it's going to be like, Lord of the Rings people would kill WotC in an instant. We can hope. Or they'll have to fucking pay big bucks, and then we're going to have to pay. Hey, listen, you got to pay for, you got to pay for Roll20 now. What happens? There's a raid layer. of lawyers from Token Estate demolished. Yeah. We've got raids going on, dungeon raids that Jeremy Crawford has to plunge in. I don't know if the writers have much to do with the legal side of things. You know, Chris Perkins, Jeremy Crawford, those guys, Mike Merles. You know, I don't want to slander them. I don't want to slander them because I don't know. I just work here, I think is probably, you know, their stance. So let's not, you know, get too deep into that. It kills a lot of websites that makes it. Yeah. It kills a lot of websites. Roll20 and Foundry. Listen, your boy loves 5e tools. Anyone? We keep that one on the hush hush. Also keep on the hush hush the fact that some people, now don't do this. Don't do it. But you can download these websites as HTMLs and run the private server. But don't do that. That's illegal. That's very wrong. Anyway, Stout says, I have hope for the future. They tried this for 4th edition. Really? I didn't know that. Apparently, and the same thing happened. Everyone migrated to Pathfinder, and they just lost more money. Well, history repeats itself. Yeah, so how it affects us as players, these online tabletops that, you know, especially post-COVID, we've come to know and love. Bye-bye to those. Online resources that distribute the rules, like 5e Tools, the Wikidot, anyone? Yo, Wikidot fans out here? The Roll20 SRD that is Roll20 compatible. Those are all gone, or very scarce and hard to get to, and that'll just make it further more difficult for people to access the rules and play the game. Like I said, I praised OGL earlier for making this boom happen, this golden age renaissance of D&D, and for making D&D so gosh darn accessible. That's one of the big gosh darn factors that made D&D so big, is the accessibility. Anyone can pick up this game and just fucking play it, dude. It's a little bit daunting for some, you know, of course. It's not easy for everyone to just pick up and get into, but you can. It's accessible, and, you know, no more. This part of the situation, you know, as a creator, doesn't bother me too much, but as a player, this makes me more upset because it might potentially affect me personally. Listen, guys, I'm about to start a new campaign. I mentioned it in the Discord. I'm about to start a new D&D campaign with a bunch of new players, a bunch of people. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people that have never played D&D before, and like a handful of people who've played just a tiny bit of D&D before. Yeah, you were, exactly, says Misery. You were about to start a new campaign, exactly. These new players who need these interfaces, they need Roll20 in order to visualize the game. I shouldn't say they need, but it helps a lot. That hurts my ability to help them pick up the game. And showing new players D&D is one of my favorite things about the hobby. I love introducing new players to the game. When someone says, when I invite someone to play D&D and they're like, I have no idea how to play though, I say, good, I love that shit. I will make you love it. And you are going to have a great time with me because I love working with new players to learn how to play D&D. And this is going to hurt that. And that's what hurts me probably the most out of all of this. That's the most personal part of all this for me. I went to a wedding recently, a friend's wedding, and that's where this whole campaign started, because I went up to these 2 people, a girl who was in the bridal party, one of the bridesmaids, and her date. And they seemed really, really cool. So we hit it off during the reception. And they're like, hey, you guys are cool. You want to hang out sometime? You want to be friends? I was like, great. I said, you guys like D&D? And they said, oh my God, yes, we want to learn how to play. We've never played, but we watched all of Stranger Things. We want to play so bad. And I said, you're in. Let's go. And these people are getting fucked over from this. You know what I'm saying? No, Roll20's not gone. It's still up for now, but it might be going bye or cost money. I mean, right now you can pay for the pro subscription on Roll20, but you might have to pay to use it, period, in the future. Who knows? Yep. So, it sucks. Like I said before, again, you know, I am willing to play devil's advocate to a degree. WotC has every right to protect its property and pursue financial success. It's just the same. It's just a darn shame that they're so aggressively bearing down on the community that made them what they are and just being the bad guys, being the villains, you know? In this kind of situation, it is important to put ourselves into the shoes of the people who are making these decisions. And I'm not saying defend them. I'm just saying put yourself in that room, in that boardroom. You know what I'm saying? These are big wigs at WotC and Hasbro. They don't give a shit about the game. It's play. Do you think anyone making these decisions? How much you want to bet? Let's put. You know what? I'd be willing to bet. How many of these suits in the boardroom that are making these decisions? How many of them do you think have played in a campaign for a significant amount of time? Like, honestly. And people who have played a little bit, you know, how much you want to bet they actually like have gone back to keep playing? Like, bro, 0 says CPR. I'm willing to give them a bit of a benefit of the doubt and say 1 or 2 maybe. You know what I'm saying? $400, none of them. Y'all said 0. Hey, listen, maybe. That's my point. Who knows? 1 says medical. Yeah, see, I'm with you. Like 1, maybe, or 2, you know? Logie says, hello, I'm here to get mad at WotC. Hey, join the club, buddy! You gotta go back and watch the whole charade. We're winding down a little bit now. But yeah, it's crazy. We must break the 3rd wall and make D&D campaign where we defeat the corporate menace. Hell yeah, I like that. Let's do it. Hey, listen, my new campaign. I'm gonna make that a plot line now. The evil big wigs up top, you know what I'm saying? The 3rd wall. It's 4th wall. Yeah, you said 3rd wall. That's funny. And you know what? That's nothing new. The whole the suits, the big wigs, the corporate fat cats up at the top not playing the game. You know, that in and of itself, that doesn't you know, that's fine. It's okay. Dare I say, a good thing for business-minded people. Sometimes, caveat, asterisk. It's sometimes a good thing to have business-oriented people running the show and saying, listen, hey, you got your game that you enjoy, but we got to think about the big decisions here, you know what I'm saying? Right? To a degree, you got to have people who are willing to divorce themselves from the game and say, I'm going to make the smart business decisions, you know? That's what we got to think about a little bit here. But, that being said, to be just so boldly ignorant of the feelings of the consumers, to just be so just out the stratosphere of like, you know, it blows my mind, man. It really is baffling to me how these people can just be just so just detached from what it is they're selling, you know, and who they're selling to, and what the experience is that they provide. And what the feelings are, the people here down here at our level, you know, it's crazy. How do you be so out of touch? You know, it's wacky. Yeah, second channel. Logie is right. Misery says even Disney had big investors, all because of the magic that old Disney created with their animated feature film. So perhaps D&D has something like that. Yeah, Defunctland. Hell yeah, oh, I love Defunctland. I haven't seen all their videos. I need to binge it sometime. But Yeah. And like I said, Alex, like I said earlier, you get into the greed and the late stage capitalism. That's a whole can of worms that I don't want to really get into. But like, yeah, it's crazy, man. It's fucked up. But I do want to take a moment to think about. Let's brainstorm a little bit here. Like I said, there are some aspects of this OGL and this whole drama that I'm not super against in isolated contexts, free from the attitude that they've shown for us, you know what I'm saying? For example, and Stout brought up a great counterpoint to this earlier, but I'll say it anyway, because it's worth thinking about. Making the new OGL only apply to one D&D or D&D 1, the next iteration of D&D, moving forward. That way, all the previous ones can remain open source, while the new system can have a bit of a tighter grip on it. It would still suck a little bit, but at least you're not actively taking away things that people already have. But since what Stout said is true, though, if they did that, people just wouldn't play the new game and they'd lose money anyway. So That's probably out that's out right there probably, but you know, it'd be better than what we got now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Logie, listen, you know, I'm glad you're here too, Logie, to give a perspective on like the Magic the Gathering stuff, and this is not the first, you know, controversial statement alert. This isn't the first time Wizards of the Coast has made some wacky decisions that people don't like, you know. So it ain't just D&D, you know. But yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Logie, that's also a great point, which I also saw. On one of the videos that I saw was Knights of the Old Republic is a Star Wars game that uses very heavily D&D inspired rules. What the fuck happens to that? You know, like, and the remakes of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And it's Disney. Yeah, Star Wars is Disney now, so fight! Dude, Battle Royale. Wizards of the Coast, the Tolkien Estate, and Disney. Fucking, yeah! Throw them in a pit and place the bets. Jesus. Yeah, Stout, just this month even. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And CPR says, you know the most fucked up part too in D&D Beyond, if you make a character, there's some extra homebrew stuff, and one is a Critical Role original class. Yep, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Matt Mercer has made some Critical Role, you know, classes and stuff, for sure. Lawyer BR. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have some mecha kaiju battles. For sure. So other things that they could have done better, right? Like I said earlier, one of the things that they require for you now with the new OGL is you need this official badge, creator badge on your work. That's one of the things they're going to be demanding. Pardon me one moment, I got to do some coke. Sorry about that. I think that that's not a horrible thing. And what would not be horrible either is if you charged royalties, like 10%, 20%, whatever, in exchange for this badge, this official licensed thing. What if they rolled out this thing where creators could get an official Wizards of the Coast license, stamp of approval on their product in exchange for royalties, kind of like you see officially licensed by Nintendo products, you know, that you see on merch and stuff, right? I'm not a huge fan of this method either, but it's an option that I would be open to over all this. Hell, they could even throw some assets at you. They could say, you know, hey, if you get this little stamp of approval, you give us your revenue and we'll give you some assets to use and put it on our official, you know, community creation portal, right? That's one thing they could do to get more money in a way that doesn't suck major dick. Not after last time. I was right. I had the horrible nosebleed. It's true. And Motley Nerd, welcome. We're wrapping up our discussion a little bit. Go back and watch the VOD if you'd like to hear the whole spiel. But yeah, Hasbro and WotC taking on Disney about the same. Yes. We got some King Ghidorah shit. Who's Mecha Godzilla in this whole thing? Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk. This is Mecha Godzilla. But yeah, like official product. You hit over 20% of your revenue. It's on the portal. You get some like assets to help boost your thing, and then they shout it out and they advertise it. That'd be a cool thing to do, because apparently, supposedly, well, I shouldn't say supposedly. It is confirmed. WotC and Hasbro, they've been tanking on the profits. They need their money. Let them get their money in different ways. You know, like I said earlier. Paying WotC a royalty if you make over $750,000 or whatever number they want to make it to, is also, dare I say, hot take, kind of fair. If something like Critical Role blows up and starts making millions, I think it's not out of the question to say that WotC should have a little slice of that pie, maybe. Critical Role wouldn't exist without D&D, right? Again, I'm not a fan of it, but like, the big problem there, though, is A, the retroactive enforcement of the policy, B, the fact that they can take your property and sell it on their own without your permission, and C, the fact that they can change any part of this license whenever they want to whatever they want with a 30-day notice and nothing from you, and the fact that they've made themselves out to be antagonistic toward major competitors. Critical Role is a competitor. Not part of the community. not something special. An enemy, an adversary. You know what I'm saying? So all these little bits and pieces here, like individually in isolated vacuum cases, these could all work. But god damn it, you just had to shit the bed. You had to take these concepts and put them in a big old shit cake and take a shit on the cake and then put the cake in shit and say, here's your shit, take it or leave it. You better eat it and be happy or else you get nothing. Boy, oh boy. Waka waka. I didn't expect to get so spicy today. My inner streamer, my passionate and flaming hot personality is coming out in spades today. Is it getting hot in here? Or is it just this scorching hot topic? Yeah, anyway. Oh. There's the argument that people wouldn't know about D&D without Critical Role. True. There's an argument to be made there. Yeah, for sure. I'm not against it as is, however, it being able to change is the major issue. What if they change it to 30%? Yeah, what if they bring that 750,000 down to 500,000? 100,000? 1,000? You know? What was the big news? I hope I didn't miss it, says CPR. No, you didn't miss it. We're about to get to that. Let me just wrap up. We've touched on everything. And by the way, guys, thank you so much for offering a good discussion here. A little sounding board of ideas. Some of you guys brought up some really great points that I didn't think of myself. I hope that my thoughts gave you something to think about. You guys certainly gave me something to think about. This was great. I didn't want it to come across as me just like, you know. So this was good, and it can get it out of our systems, because I don't want like the Discord server of Legends, our community, tabletop channel there to just be overtaken by the drama and the negativity. So this is a great way for us to kind of get it out of our system and to address the big stinky elephant in the room, and then move on. So all in all, let me summarize, let me finalize our discussion here by giving you my concise thoughts. I am a believer in Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro having the right to protect their property and to maximize profits, but not at the cost of making a total enemy of its community and its consumers. What they are doing is, at best, sleazy, greedy, and monopolizing of third-party content. At worst, it's dishonest, illegal, and downright antagonistic to the people who helped them make D&D into the hit that it is today. There's your soundbite. Majorly traitorous, small PP energy, big L plus ratio, plus no bitches. Most based take. It's not even that base. Everyone thinks it, which is why this whole stream I kind of felt a little bit silly going into, because we all know, we all hate Wizards of the Coast, like. But I hope that I brought something new to the table with some of my thoughts earlier. If you're just now blowing in, or if you haven't seen the whole stream, go back and watch the VOD, because I hope that I've given you a little bit more to chew on. Yeah, least based Chris take. That's right. It's the least based take, Tired Boy. But like, yeah, I hope that y'all had some stuff to chew on here. A little bit of food for thought, because these things, they are interesting. You know, like I said, the whole concept of the OGL being a genuinely good idea to take off D&D and bring it to what it is today, but then it turning into a beast that couldn't quite be controlled, is kind of an interesting thing to sort of take into account and think about and rationalize through. But enough about that. Let's get to me. Like I said, I teased a soft, sort of an announcement for this stream. So, let's talk about the soft announcement for today. I say soft announcement because it's nothing big and grand. There's nothing concrete, but there are some things in the workings that I want to give you guys as little teasers. All right. Medical Beam, do you remember the old PUBG pregame lobbies? I've never played PUBG, so, well, actually, that's not true. I have a little bit, so no. But I think I can imagine what you're talking about, yes. So, your boy Chris the Absolute DM has got some stuff cooking up for y'all, all right? This whole debacle, this whole drama is leaving people feeling quite disenfranchised with Wizards of the Coast, and with good reason. and with Hasbro and all this. People are looking for other game systems to play. Pathfinder 2nd edition, yo, strong contender. I've heard some good things about it. Time for, hold up, let him cook. It's like my favorite thing to say these days. Let him cook. I need to, y'all need to say that in chat whenever I'm like working on something in a game on my gameplay streams. But anyway, some of you probably saw this coming from the hintings and the wink winks nudges. But your boy Chris the Absolute DM, aka Chris the Absolute Legend, is in the early stages of working on his very own tabletop role-playing game rule set. I have actually been passively working on this rule set for like 4 or 5 years now, but it's kind of just been like a Google Doc collecting dust that I add to every so often. But this is my first time really making it official that it's being worked on for real. A whole rule set that you guys can play. I would hope to maybe get a Kickstarter for it in the distant future, sell it, maybe a little fun little box set. I've got ideas on how to make this thing happen. Kirsten, only the dog knows for sure. Anyway, so if you're on the prowl for some alternatives to Dungeons and Dragons, why don't you give my game a shot? I'm quite far out from having anything tangible for you. Holy shit, he's cooking! Oh, he's cooking, yeah. Yo, this is the ultimate let him cook, right? Motley Nerd says D6 systems for the win. Did you just read my fucking mind? So let me give you some, let me give you the sort of the here's the spiel, okay? Here's the pitch, right? My tabletop system has some core concepts that I want to pursue. Concept number 1, it is most likely going to be a D6 system. Say goodbye to your D20s, say goodbye to your 4s, your 8s, your 10s, your 12s, all this crap. You just need 1 or 2, preferably 2. All you need is 2 regular old 6-sided dice. These are the Star Wars ones, but they're little square boys, little cuboids. It's all you need to play. So say goodbye to having to go out and buy your own dice that are being monopolized by D&D as well. Apparently WotC and Hasbro are cracking down on dice too. Fucking, you don't own dice, Christ almighty. He has cooked. I love it. Is Chris selling out? No, sir. I'm doing the opposite of that. It's gonna be probably a D6 system, 2d6 actually. You roll 2d6 for your checks, which for you dice nerds, you statistics nerds, you would know that rolling 2 dice instead of 1 makes an interesting curve. So that might be a really interesting thing about it, is that when you roll attack roll, you might be rolling 2d6. Don't take any of this for fact. It's all in, very early conceptual and like playtesting. We haven't even done playtesting yet, but a nat 6 doesn't roll off the tongue like a nat 20. It's true. It's true. We're gonna have to make some sacrifices here. We're gonna have to crack a few eggs. We're making the mother of all omelet here. Medical meme. Mother of all omelets. That's one thing. 2d6 system, or d6 I should say system. Number 2, we want this game to be simple, clean, concise. We want it to be easy to pick up and play. We want there to be depth, of course. We want there to be lots of, different things you can try doing. Nat 12, yeah, I like that. Nat 18, maybe. Ooh, Nat 12! D6 systems are most flexible and open to realism. Yeah. Sure, yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan of the idea. That's why I'm probably doing it. Number 2, simple, clean, concise, easy to pick up and play. 5th edition is fairly well written in terms of like picking up new people, but even it's a bit clunky in some ways. There's some complaints that people have about some of the stuff. I want this system to be very easy to just read the rule book and be able to say, all right, cool, I get it. I would like for the player's handbook to be a pamphlet. Motherfucking. Oh, you know what? I had like. Wait, do I have that around here? I had like a little prototype pamphlet. Where is that? Oh, where'd I put that thing? Oh man, if I can find, man, if I had my shit together, I would have had it for you to show off. Do I have it lying around? Because I printed out a little prototype for what I have in mind. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Is it here? In my drawers? In my drawers? Oh, one sec. I'm gonna go on the table. Ow! It hurt me. No, I don't think I have it. Okay, well. Finally, after 10,000 years, I'm free. Okay, sorry guys, I had to quickly check. But anyway, I want the rule book to be a motherfucking pamphlet. Okay, you just flip it open, bam, 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 easy. Not a big ass. You know, we ain't gonna be having big ass books like this, right? I mean, we might in like the the big box set type shit. Exactly, Tired Boy, you know it. Cogent by Shadiversity and his brother. Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out. Anyway, simple, easy. That's tenet number 2, and there's a lot of like sub points to that. Number 3. We're gonna be cool and not shitty like Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. I mean, that's kind of it. Like, I want it to be a very community-driven, powerful, like, you guys help us out. It'd be really cool in the future to have, like, you know, custom class contests. Who makes the best original class? We'll put it in the book. You know what I'm saying? In the next book that comes out. You know, community building. I don't know. Yeah, that's not a high bar to clear, Chris says Medical Meme. Yeah, exactly. But, I want it to be really simple, easy to pick up, and, here's the other, sort of, I'm kind of all over the place. I apologize, but I'm excited, and I don't have this stuff written down. I'm just kind of going off my brain. I would like the rule book to be very small, and your character can fit on an index card. All right, Abner. I hope I'm not late for some tomfoolery. You are a bit late. I hate to break it to you. I'm talking about my new original tabletop role-playing game system that's coming straight to you at some point in the future, so that you can not play D&D because Wizards of the Coast is stinky poo-poo. You can play my game instead. Yeah, at least at first, you can fit your character on an index card if you're playing a fighter. If you're playing a wizard, probably not. But like, yeah. Your stats are gonna be very simple, straightforward. There's a few things you can do. Flip the page over, and there's like a few of your features back there. Like, I want people to show up to your house and say, what kind of character do you want to make? Oh, ooh, a barbarian. Cool, easy. You get this. Do you want this or this? This or this? Do you want this or this? And what do you want to start at level 1? Bam, boom. Bam, there's your character. Flip. Oh, the horror, 2 index cards, that's right. Or a notebook paper, you know what I'm saying? You don't need this big, fucking crazy-ass sheet. Because one of the things that I hate about D&D, 5th edition, is derivative stats. Which is like, you have these 6 numbers that transform into these numbers that then go here and here and here and here and here and here and here. None of that. Just, it's going to take a lot of inspiration from old school systems like AD&D. You're not gonna have these numbers that then go all across the page. It's just like, you get this. There's your numbers. Here's your numbers. That's it. No ability scores. That's what we're thinking. No ability scores. All of this is subject to change. I want a big, massive asterisk. None of these ideas might, you know, maybe none of them will show up in the final version, but my intention, my hope, is to have no ability scores. So there's no like these numbers that then go across the sheet. It's just, here's your stuff, your saves, your skills. Why do you hit better with a sword? Is it because you're strong or because you're dexterous? Doesn't matter. You hit, you get a +3 to hit. You decide why you're that good with your sword. Are you very strong? Are you very dexterous? Whatever. It's up to you. It's all up to you. Let this man cook. Let him cook. You know, a lot of stuff. Number of dice for ability scores. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Anyway, part of this announcement is that I am stout. Are there guns? Better question is, are there doorknobs? We'll see. We'll see. Part of this, which I should have mentioned earlier, I am, and this is actually a good segue. Again, nothing super concrete, but that's part 1. That's announcement part 1. This is now announcement 1.5. I am partnering with someone, not in the official sense, not in the legal sense. I'm not like, I am partnering with a... No, I've got a friend on board with this, who has decided to take this pretty seriously with me. So we're a team of 2 that's gonna try to make this thing happen. And there's a third person on board who might, hopefully, if we can scrounge enough resources together, might provide the art. I wonder who that might be. But yeah, it's me and a friend of mine. Feel very passionate about this, and I went up to them and I was like, "Are we doing this?" And they said, "Look, man, we're doing it." They said, "I don't know how much I can contribute, but so it's less of a two-man squad and more like me leading the charge with a friend of mine who's going to dedicate a lot of time and effort into helping me make it the best that it can be. This is a person that I respect greatly for their DMing skills and their game design knowledge. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to give, like, you know, because I want to make sure that we get all of our eggs in a row before we, you know, ducks in a row? Eggs in a basket. Whatever. We want to get all of our shit together before we, like, kind of bust the door down and make the big, you know, reveal about what this is. Logie, yeah, we 4 people on board making the music for the promos. Hell yeah. But yeah, we're moving silently. Guys, I'm moving silently. Let me cook silently. And then it leads me into point 2. That was 1.5, is that I've got someone on board with this, and we're going to work together to try and make this thing great. And they're a person who's a lot more, I find, a lot more business savvy than I am, so they'll probably help me a lot with the tricky dicky stuff. Will there be the race of human? You know there will be. Move in silence like the G in lasagna. Lasanga. It's true. So, point 2. And this kind of diverts from custom content, you know, from me in terms of, like, you know, playing stuff into the future of Chris the Absolute DM YouTube channel, because this channel's a little bit dusty. You know, I'm still doing Elder Vale Campaign Diaries. That campaign's been on hold for a while because of people being busy and me being in not a great place these days. But 2023 is the year of growth. And this person and I would really, really like to do some, I don't want to say D&D, because it might not be D&D with the way things are going, but we want to do tabletop role-playing game, like live podcast type stuff, where we talk about DM advice and topics and stuff, because I think that some of the great parts of my streams that I've done for Campaign Diaries is the parts where we divulge into me giving you guys advice and answering some questions and stuff. And so it would really sort of turn into something a little bit like the Dimensions 20 guy. What's their name? I'm blanking on the Dimensions 20 DM, but that guy has a podcast, from what I understand. He's had Matt Mercer come on and they talk about stuff. It'd be a lot like that. Yeah, it won't be, that's right, Medical Beam. It won't be DM advice, it'll be GM advice. That's right, you gotta make sure you remember that. Brandon Lee Mulligan, thank you. So in the near future, you can hopefully expect some more concrete content on this channel. Live streams with me and a friend talking to each other about how we GM things and our experiences and our rulings, some character ideas, fun stuff like that. There'll be some interaction with chat, asking live questions and stuff. Are we gonna have to rebrand to Chris the Absolute GM? Yeah, we might have to, as right. Hell, this channel might rebrand completely. It might be, instead of Chris the Absolute DM, it might be like Absolute Tabletop. Like, it's not just about me anymore. It's about this entity, a company almost. Does it have a name, or is the work in progress still nameless? Great question. It has a name. I wonder if I should say it. I don't think there's any big deal. I don't think any of you guys are going to steal my name. The working name, beta name for this game that I'm making is Ballad of Heroes. It's the name that I've been cooking for the past 2 years. I've been working on it. Kirsten, if you're home, do you think you could search for my Ballad of Heroes a prototype pamphlet that I printed out? It's probably somewhere in the spare room there. That is the working name, the prototype. Nothing official. I don't have any kind of deadline. I don't have a roadmap. I don't have any sort of progress, you know, whatever. But I've got a pretty good framework put into place already in terms of the core mechanics. The part that I'm kind of at now is like the classes. Like, I'm working on the classes, what the features are, how they work, and how like leveling up works and that kind of thing. Once the classes come together a little bit, it'll be time to jump into play testing and tweaking. And yeah, I mean, if we put our nose to the grindstone and really fucking, you know, really put ourselves to the test and make some real progress, we could have this thing out by like next year sometime. I do have ideas on how to produce a box set. So it'd be cool if, you know, you could just download or print the little pamphlet rulebook, or you can get a little box with nice art, with a glossy art-filled rulebook and a few little D6s that come with it, you know, just to give you a little something to have on the shelf, you know, would be fun. That'd be kind of cool. Will there be many other tabletop games talked about or played? There have been a lot as of late, and more than a few really good. Free Leagues Alien, I've never heard of that. That's a great point. Because D&D is going down the turlet, it might be a thing where we try playing different games and stuff. Or, if not playing different games and talk about different games, it might be like us talking in very general concepts. So no matter what game you're playing, what we talk about might be applicable to you know, any situation between GM and player, and running groups, and how you deliver narrative and run the game, that kind of thing, you know. So it varies. It's all in the air right now. Lots of hypotheticals going on. What's the class amount that you're shooting for? Great question. Probably just like a standard amount similar to 5th edition, like 10 to 12. We want this game to be pretty classic fantasy in its you know, themes, but we gotta have some you know, special, unique, original things. You know, we gotta give it some spice, gotta give it some stank to it, you know. So it's all up in the air. That's what I got for you. Nothing super official, but I hope this works. I can't promise you that you'll ever get this game. I'm going on the record right now saying that it is entirely within the realm of possibility that this completely falls through. It wouldn't be the first time that your boy set out to do something and then failed to do it because he couldn't manage. But the one of the core reasons why I have a person with me is accountability. We're gonna be accountability buddies. When the time gets tough and when progress slows down, one of us is gonna come to the other and say, "Hey, yo, dude, where is it at? Where's the game? Let's go." You know, that's one objective of mine with bringing someone on board the team, you know, is to do that. Who cares? I'm in there for the ride. Yeah, the ride. There'll be a ride for sure. And, you know, listen, public play testing might be a thing. Maybe supporters. Maybe if you're a channel member or a Patreon supporter or whatever, like, you'll get access to the beta content, you know? Who knows? Who knows? Ballad, yeah, not Ballet of Heroes, Ballad of Heroes. The Bard is the main character, though. It's true. Breakdancer class? Oh yeah. Just dance battles? Oh, I love that. Gremlin type class or race, maybe? Yeah, could be. But yeah, we want to deliver to you a very fun, very fast-paced gameplay, because combat in 5th edition takes forever. We want it to be fast, exciting, low commitment. You show up, you make your character, you jump in, easy to pick up, but lots of customization, lots of depth at the same time, which is a hard sort of balance to strike there. But that's what we want to deliver to you, taking inspiration from old school rules. You best believe I'm gonna be doing my homework, looking at some old school shit for inspiration on some of the things that we're gonna have in this game here. We want it to be just fun and exciting and fresh. You know, it's a game that you don't get bogged down by all the text. And lots of little mini expansions, you know, might be coming out with it. It's just like, you know, Run a Town, the book, you know, Design a Fortress, the book, Hirelings, the book, One Big Book of Treasures, One Big Book of Dungeons, you know. We'd love to have just a lot of little shit to throw at you. Might be a way to do it. Again, all hypothetical, no promises on any of this stuff. This is all very early conceptual phases type stuff, but we're going to be working on it soon. And of course, again, remember, on this channel, coming up soon, podcasty type discussion live stream fun stuff with my good buddy and business partner. That'll be coming here on the channel as well. So that's all I got for you today. I think we're all wrapped up here, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the discussion about the big stinky elephant in the room, and I hope that you are a little bit excited about what's coming from your boy in terms of Ballad of Heroes and podcast stream type stuff. I will tune into all of this as Medical Meme. That makes me very happy. Tenders and tater tots for dinner? Hell yeah! Oh, did you text me that? I'm sure you did. You did not. You went straight to the stream. Went straight to the source. Yes, I would love some tenders and tater tots for dinner, babe. Only the dog knows for sure if and when we're gonna get this game, Tyler. That's right. Only the dog knows for sure. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for supporting your boy. Please continue to do so. It would mean the world to me if you guys stick around for this great and wonderful journey. The future of this channel looks, up until, you know, today, up until this news, looked grim, you know, with all this Wizards of the Coast stuff. Who knows what kind of shit your boy was gonna be able to get up to, but we're gonna take this as a sign. You know, like I said, I've been softly, gently cooking these rules for years now, but I see this drama with Wizards of the Coast as a sign, you know, that it's time. It's time to take my shit and go with it, because people are going to be looking for alternatives, you know. The world of tabletop gaming is being shaken up, and what better time than now than to throw my hat in the ring, you know. It's been in the slow cooker for you. That's right, Medical Meme. It's been in the slow cooker, this game, but now the party has started. It's time to whip out that slow cooker and throw that shit on the grill. Let's get that shit seared. All right. So, thanks again. I'll catch you guys in the Discord server of Legends, link down below. Join the community. Come say hi to me. Also, my gaming streams. You know, I've been taking it a bit easy these days, so less streams these days. But tomorrow, starting at 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern time, I'm not sure exactly what I said or what I'm going to actually be able to do, but tomorrow in the early afternoon Eastern time, I'm going to start playing some Fallout New Vegas again. If you guys want to see me play Fallout, please come join me tomorrow. It'd be a great time to have you there. And Friday evening as well, I'm going to be playing some games with my wife, some arcade shit. It's going to be great then as well. Is there going to be a channel suggestions for the game? Maybe. I would like to definitely take suggestions and stuff, but we'll cross that bridge when we come through it. So for now, just stay tuned. Love y'all so much. I'll catch you later, Logie. Yes, sir. See ya. When's the next KOTOR stream? Great question. Not sure, my friend, but you be sure to stay tuned, because I want to finish that game up real soon. Yes, yes, yes. I know that's your jam. Stay tuned to the gaming channel. More games in the future. But thanks so much again for watching, guys. I'll shut the fuck up now. But I'll see you around. This is Chris the Absolute DM, over and out. Can I find the right thank you screen? I think this is it. Let's try it. Bye-bye, guys.